Hi, my name is Eric Johnson. I'm a veterinarian in Marietta, Georgia. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about longevity in dogs. Two things that you can do to extend your dog's life more than probably anything else. And I guess I'll talk to you about actually five things. To get one of them out of the way right away, I think I would mention, and this isn't the point of the video, but it's basically consider distilled water or purified water for your dog. Actually, distilled water, purified water for yourself as well. Interesting side note that the water that we're drinking from the tap and that comes from our water treatment plants has a very high level of hormones in it, it turns out. Believe it or not, 50% of the population that you live around, in all probability, is on birth control, and they are taking estradiols. Usually to prevent pregnancy. Those hormones re-enter the water column through sewage and then water treatment, which unfortunately, while water treatment can reduce nitrites and ammonia and all the other nitrogen-based pollutants in water, it can't reduce those hormones. To such an extent, actually, that down in the Atlanta area, the water effluent, Atlanta has decided that it would be cheaper to pay the fines for dumping the sewage into the river than to actually build a water treatment plant. So they're dumping basically raw sewage into the Chattahoochee and then paying the fines. It's cheaper than the debt service on a water treatment plant. Anyway, further digression. So these hormones are accumulating in our water column to such an extent that they're actually impeding the reproductive facility of the fish, and that the fish as they come through are preponderantly female. And the the incidence of male fish is on the very, very low side. And so these hormones, yeah, I know, right? Hormones can affect the gender of fish. Pressure at which anyway, the long and the short of it is distilled water is better for you and your pet, especially for the pets. We're seeing a lot of cancer in dogs, and I think a lot of that cancer is just happening. I get that, but I think that water is a factor. Okay, the other factor is weight, body weight. This is the point of the video, basically. If I just cut to the chase, the long and the short of it, basically, keeping the weight down on a dog is going to protect them from an early demise more prevalently, for example, than vaccine. And here's the reason. See, with vaccines, you're protecting a dog from a fatal disorder that we could, in practice, see up to 2 or 3 cases a month. So if I'm seeing 3,000, 4,000 dog patients, cat patients on an annual basis, the incidence of disease that's vaccinable in those cases is on the low side compared to almost 100% of large breed dogs are going to go down at the end of life with arthritic, incontinent, trouble with the back end kind of problems, which is delayable, actually, materially delayable. If you kept your dog's weight down, it would live considerably longer. And this is something I preach to all my clients, hopefully not really getting in their faces or anything, but I try very hard to get them to keep the weight down. Diet foods for dogs, low calorie, low energy foods for cats, that sort of thing. Cats, if you don't let them graze, if they just eat twice a day, their weight comes off a little bit better. It's hard to get weight off cats, and you have to be careful doing that. Maybe the subject of another video. With dogs, on the other hand, there's a couple of diet foods out there. On the low end is Pedigree. Diet food is very low in fat. It's corn-based, not particularly healthy for coats. A little step up from that would be Costco Kirkland's Healthy Weight Diet. Believe it or not, a Costco diet, very well formulated. It's not grain-free, but it doesn't have corn in it. It's like rice and barley and a couple other things. That food would be fed on the basis of about a quarter cup per 10 pounds once a day, or divided, quarter cup per 10. And then there's Blue Buffalo, has a chicken and brown rice formulation. That is also not grain-free because it has rice in it, but it is a very low-fat diet that's effective at weight loss. So to recap so far, distilled water, good for pets, keep them around a lot longer without cancer. Low body weight, crucial. And then the third thing is healthy teeth, dental exercise. And I have another video on YouTube about knuckle bones, my favorite kind of dental exercise. And I'm going to do another video on knuckle bones, not just how to prepare them, which I have done that video, but healthy teeth are critically important because most of the heart murmurs and heart failures that you see in old dogs are related to cardiac problems from bacteria coming from the rotting mouths through the bloodstream to the heart valves and causing the murmur. Then the murmur is causing problems with pressure and moving the blood forward and out of the lungs and abdomen, and then you run into some heart failure issues. So that's not all of it either. Rotting teeth shower the airway, trachea, bronchi, with a mist of bacteria every breath the dog takes. So you'll run into a lot of coughing, gacking, chronic bronchitis type of dogs with rotting teeth. And then bad breath, nasty bad breath. Why would you live with that? So anesthesia these days has come so far that losing a dog to anesthesia is downright rare. Actually, I've never lost a dog under anesthesia except one. It had been hit by a car and its spleen had ruptured. And that dog died under anesthesia, but it wasn't because of anesthesia. It was because his spleen had ruptured from being hit by the car. So anyway, anesthesia is safe enough that I don't really know in a very old dog, unless it has a severe heart murmur or some other cardiopulmonary problem, why a dental would really be a big deal. But yeah, keeping their teeth clean from rotting improves their breath overall, and keeps the airway from being misted with bacteria. And then finally, can you imagine what a mouth that rotten like some of these old dogs get? And if I can get some pictures, I'll insert them into this video of how that would taste and how it would feel to have your teeth rotting out. Well, so the long and the short of this video, and maybe I should have kicked off with it basically, is that for longevity in dogs, the two things that you could do, more important than vaccine probably, is keep their body weight low and their teeth healthy. And don't just stop taking care of their teeth because they're old. Anesthesia is different now. It's quite safe. And keeping their mouths comfortable is probably just as important as keeping their hips comfortable. And there's quality of life issues later in life with bad breath not being allowed near you. Those are kind of a big deal. So keep the weight down, the mouth healthy. And that's all for this video. Thank you.